In the YouTube algorithm, the people are represented by three separate yet equally important groups: the one that creates, the one that views, and the one that just can't help but react. Under Title 17, I am a member of an elite squad, also known as the Special Viewers Unit. These are the stories.
Imagine the struggle Chantal has with maintaining a diet. Oh, it's such a battle, a tug of war between her mind and her body, her desires and her needs. It's this invisible fight that she so bravely faces every day. Oh, it's a journey that's often far, far from easy. Our tale revolves around and around an individual named Chantal. Oh, Chantal, the self-professed foodie, who finds not just in the flavor and texture of food, but also uses it as a crutch for her solitude. Now here's the kicker. Chantal is diabetic, and supposed to be on a diet. I mean, how ironic can it get? And this diet? It's nothing short of Everest for her, a battle she is gallantly yet grudgingly fighting. Chantal, oh so feeble, couldn't stick to her diet. Hence, she found herself in a sandwich shop, placing an order for 2 subs, a packet of chips, and a large cup of juice. Sure, she knew this wasn't the healthiest choice, fully aware of the looming consequences. But oh, that enticing aroma, that irresistible crunch, the seductive sweetness of the juice was just too much for her to resist. So she said she was seeking help, reaching out to her doctor and trying to wrestle with her eating issues front and center. But oh, how the allure of unclean food was too irresistible. Chantal wasn't satisfied with clean eating, oh no. She desperately needed to learn how to cope, but alas, she couldn't. She was ravenous all the time, always hungry, always craving, poor thing. Chantal's relationship with food? Oh, it wasn't some sudden revelation. No, it was a bond concocted in the desolate playground of her childhood. She would use food as a crutch, a means to silence the deafening solitude. She had this poignant memory of her grandfather, a rather corpulent man who kicked the bucket in his 70s, thanks to a stroke. It's a reminiscence that nags her constantly, a specter from yesteryears that she just can't manage to shake off. As she wolfed down her first sandwich, Chantal began spinning her tale, her saga with food. She brought up her granny, a lady who pampered her, spoiled her rotten with food. Chantal recalled how her grandmother surprisingly picked up on her food problem. The memory, it was a real tearjerker, a reminder of an issue she had been wrestling with for years. Oh look, Chantal's at it again, opening her second bag of chips and her second sandwich. Isn't it just delightful how she savors each bite? It's so creamy and buttery, the crunch, the tanginess of pickles, the saltiness of olives, and the oh-so-special cold-cut meats. She's really trying to be transparent here, brutally honest about her struggle. No hiding behind facades for our Chantal, no sir. She's all about facing her battles head-on, isn't she just brave? So, let's wrap this up, shall we? Chantal's supposed epic saga, oh yes, is a shining example of the uphill battle many endure when they try to stick to a diet. It's a colossal struggle against, guess who? Themselves, battling their own habits and cravings. Oh, how exhausting, how draining this fight is. But hey, the cycle continues. She insists it's a fight worth fighting. Why, you ask? Because at the end of the long, weary day, it's not just about food. It's about health. It's about life. Sure, whatever makes her sleep at night. Now you, yes, you, whom are watching, can you hand me the popcorn? And before the highlights, don't forget to subscribe.
So today I have something that will make you judge me hardcore. But before you do, I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys. What I'm going to have today, what I'm eating right now is sub stop, 6-inch sub of different kind with some chips. I'm going to start with 1 sub. Keep this there sandwich. 1 chip should be enough. For now, we'll see. Some pomegranate juice. So I know you're thinking, Foodie Beauty, you have high blood sugars. What are you doing? You know, eating bad things for you. So what I've discovered is, and what I want to share with you, I don't want to share just the good times, bismillah, with you. I want to share when I'm struggling also. And clearly I'm struggling getting rid of food that's been comforting me for years.
So let me get into that.
Because it turns out having any kind of health issues doesn't seem to be enough sometimes to keep me from eating bad things. I realized that, you know, I'm going to the doctor after, and I need to get on medication, you know, like everyone was saying, until I can. I'm new here. I'm learning the healthcare system. I'm trying to find, I'm going to be trying
to find help for my eating issues and stuff like that
as well. This is a 6-inch chicken teriyaki, Parmesan oregano bread, lettuce, tomato, mayo, sweet onion sauce, Southwest sauce, jalapenos, black olives. So I'm not trolling with this video. I'm just actually being very transparent and showing how I struggle to stay on track most times. I'm having trouble like being able to be consistent with eating super clean. I feel like starving and like not satisfied because that food, clean food, is obviously not doesn't satisfy anything except for health, which is it should be. So I need to learn how to cope, and I can't right now. And I find since having high blood sugar, I'm so ravenous all the time. My obsession with food. The chunks of chicken here are so huge. Has been going on since I'm a child. From a very young age, McDonald's is like ingrained. The Happy Meal, the toys. When I was a kid, the toys was Fraggle Rock. But for a long time, my mom was a single mom, and she had to work or go to school. She was young, and I had to be left with a lot with my grandmother on my dad's side. My grandparents on my dad's side are both dead. My grandfather on my dad's side was morbidly obese. I remember being a kid and being shocked at seeing him with his shirt off at how large he was. He died of a stroke in his 70s. And then my grandmother, heavy smoker. I remember she would always just be at the table cooking something, cracking open a Diet Coke and lighting a cigarette every few minutes, like every, few minutes or so. She used to have me go in her closet and grab her a pack from her carton. Players Light was the brand. I never liked going in that room. Her room was dark and cold and felt haunted. And it didn't help that when she told me when her husband, my grandfather, passed away, that she saw him in that room. That's the house with the ghost in the basement. I looked forward to going because I knew I would be eating good. I was spoiled. So she would make me comforting meals and snacks. So comforting and memorable. Ingrained in my memory that I still dream about being there. This is during a time in my childhood where my dad was more involved. So yeah, sometimes in my dreams, even my food obsession follows me in my dreams. I have dreams of being back at my grandmother's house. She used to make these tiny little sweet and sour meatballs. They were so good. She would give me these little chicken nuggets with Diana's barbecue sauce. It was so good. Magic Moments, butterscotch, or vanilla pudding. She would take a fresh loaf of bread, cut thick slices, and put thick slices of fresh, like St. Albert's cheese. If you're from Ontario, you know. St. Albert's cheese, and put it under the broiler. And I could still see her leaning over the oven to keep an eye with a dart in her hand. But she used to get mad at me for asking for extra pudding. Even back then, she would tell my mom, I think Chantal has a problem with food. She wouldn't keep asking for snacks. So the history goes way back. Remember my first bag of chips, how it made me feel. Okay, so this is the second sandwich. It's the meat feast with pickles, black olives, lettuce, tomato, extra mayo, salt, pepper, and oil and vinegar on Parmesan oregano. It's kind of like their version of the cold cut trio, but it's like beef products. So it has roast beef, pepperoni, salami, but it's made with a different animal, except for besides a pig, obviously, because Islam country. It's so good. But this franchise is like not affiliated with Subway. They put so much pickles. Just to show you how far back this obsession with food goes. I feel like it's impossible to overcome. I feel like defeated. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
But I still dream about, I told a lot of you this before, driving around in my dreams, visiting different fast food places, or good girl, scratching her post, strolling along a street at night with like tons, each row of the street on either side is lined with well-lit restaurants, and I'm overwhelmed with the choices. But I don't actually eat in my dream. It's weird. I don't know. It's very weird. One of my favorite foods is a good deli sandwich. I love the deli. Deli meat, deli cheese, deli pickles. Do you guys eat a 12-inch? Or do you think that's too much? I don't like eating subs or sandwiches without chips. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hide and pretend like I didn't eat this today. I want to be transparent when it comes with battling this, and just show that there's gonna be a lot of times like this. It's the reality of it. I don't know how to stop wanting this food, and if I'm gonna want it forever, that's gonna be really hard. I'll have a vlog out maybe later letting you know how the doctor's visits go. Doctor visit goes. I know this wasn't healthy. Trust me, I know. I don't need you to tell me.